5 seconds have passed. I am back. It is Jet again. I am still Jet. Even after having switched to what is now episode 13, I retain my identity. And I need wood. So I'm getting wood. It should last for a little bit longer. Not, I don't think, enough to go all the way around. But, you know. So, okay, 1:15. We'll cut this off at 1:45. Unless I fall off the edge and have to start clipping material out. Ooh, let's deal with this. Oops. Luckily, these can be made prolifically. That may not be a word. But if it's not a word, it is now. There's also a hole here. Oh, you know, over this room here is going to pinch into the side of the building. I may have to think about that. So here's the nub I was talking about in the last episode. Got to get rid of it. What does that mean is here? What is here? What is here? Does anybody of my 2 subscribers, that's pretty cool, I have 2 subscribers, have an opinion there, okay, on what on the stairwells that will be here? They will not proceed down to here. They'll stop here and go up only 1 floor. But maybe I should, you know, since there's already wood here, I ought to have wood steps. But I'm thinking maybe they should be a different color, like birch. Having too much consistency is almost as bad as having not enough consistency. Oh my gosh, there's another hole. Oh, no, that hole's intentional. So what is this? I gotta figure this one out. This is definitely the edge of this room. So these... that goes that way. This actually defines the stairwell. Right here. It's a 3x3 with a 1 stone core. And they open on the inside, so the door leading out will be here. I think I'll just use the same color. I don't know where I'll ever get to use birch, though. Or the other woods. You know, I can yank them out or do patterned wooden floors someday when I feel like it. But that means, if this is it, let's fill this up. I wouldn't mind having something of a different texture, but I'll start with this. Which means this goes here. I'm kind of confused. But that looks right. So this goes out by 1. That's the door. 1 further. No, that's not right. So 1. Okay, and then a 4x4. Looks like that's going to work out just right. Except not. Oh, I see. I just assumed. That's actually a door. So there's no... okay. There. I am most pleased. What's this? Oh, there's a... oh, there's a room in the middle that, well, that's weird. There's a room in the middle that goes underneath the stairwell. I'm guessing the door is meant to be from the stairwell, the core stairwell, which would match up. But there are no designated doors on this. And there's no quote-unquote house above it. So that is a distinctive room that has no entry or exit. Must be meant to go from the stairwell, which means there are no windows or no exits. So it wouldn't really probably count as a house from the perspective of testificates. I only right now have one last piece of dirt from my old long lost silk touch. So I mean, in terms of grass, I can do one on this side, but the one on the other side, I'll have to find another source of dirt or grassy dirt. Not that it's amazingly super awesome important yet. Someday it will be a life-threatening issue, but not today. Oh yeah, that's right. I ran out over here. So this must be 4. Right now it's 3 by 3. What am I hearing? Oh, the cat is snoring. At least he's not bugging me. Okay. This will probably match up with this. Why, yes. This would be an excellent opportunity to fall off the side. Yes, that is correct. So it mostly matches. Is this? No? Okay. Yeah, this, you notice on this floor here, there's a pathway through. And these doors, because they face inwards and there's no obvious sky above, I'm not sure if those will qualify for testificates either. But considering this is sort of like a... I don't know what it is. These, if they don't attract testificates, then I can put in things like forges and maybe like medical or grocers or who knows the heck what, and maybe just force in a testificate through, like vintage beef. We lock them behind counters and stuff. Maybe. I don't really like that idea personally, but if I have to, bear with me as I figure things out. Dun, dun, dun. What is next? Well, I believe this will be another stairwell base, since it stops here. And it, again, opens on the inside towards the tower. And then goes out, a small, short hallway that opens into a 4x4. Oops. So yeah, the lower quarters of the houses are not symmetrical inside of themselves, but the fact that there are 4 of them all mirror each other around the tower does, in fact, eventually make them symmetrical, which means I won't have an aneurysm about it. Boink, 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 boink. Oops, did I forget one? No. Oh, wait a minute. Freg, okay. Didn't go long enough. I probably won't run out of wood before the end of the next Rationally Length episode. So I'm not going to worry about planting trees right now. What is here? This is one of the other apartments. So 1, 2, 3. And see, now that this is a bit more fleshed out, it's a little easier to just go ahead and start throwing them down, because the walls surrounding them make their shapes a lot more obvious. So basically, yeah, when I first start, it's a little harder to know what I'm doing, but then it sort of speeds up. Oh, but I do need to think about topics for my op-ed video things, in addition to solving hardware issues. Now, one topic I'm absolutely aware of at this point is that of dark energy and dark matter, the likes of which I am not at all qualified to talk about, but I do have an idea that I think makes sense, and so I'm going to talk about it, I don't know, 5-10 minutes at the most, and I will further stretch my video editing capabilities by making diagrams and things which will be suspended in camera between my fingers as I demonstrate with my hands that you cannot see. Let's see, does that, at some point that comes back out. And it is flat here, though it doesn't have to be. And I'll try that. What else, though? My perspective on tribalism in modern politics, like conservative versus liberal, these are just terms that don't mean anything, and according to the actual behavior of the people involved, it's like sports teams. They see each other as the enemy even though they have 99% of the same issues in common. This is going to go pretty much all the way, except where it is interrupted by the need for doors. There are none here. But 1, 2... See this? Is that right? That looks like 3. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. I mean, obviously, this is right. Oh, I see. The poor thing's gonna break. This was supposed to start here. Great. Let's see, but yeah, I want to comment on tribalism, and I have a chart in mind for that as well. So that will lend itself well to video editing. What else? What else? Hey, let me just throw the microphone over. This is kind of obvious, actually, at this point. And that goes back 3, and then over, and then another 3, and then it dives in by 2, then 1, then 4, I think. Yeah, see, here it becomes obvious. What else? There are other topics. Sometimes I'm just so forgetful. I'll have an idea, and by the next day, it's so gone. I hate that so much. That dives out by 2, right? So, you know, having wrapped around the side of the building now, mostly, I'll end up getting into repeated content, so it will make sense that the episode will end before I finish, because who wants to watch me just do the mirror image of what I've already done? I wonder if that means I should do something else now to fill out the episode with. Because I got about 15 minutes to go. Perhaps I should make the stairwells going up. That means I'll have to make... Oh good, I have some left. Oh well, let's see here. Whew. Okay. Now, is this right? There's... Oh, okay, good. Let's see. That goes out to 4 to each side. This is... It's not a... It's a room, obviously. Ooh, you know what? I could be stupid. It's a room. That has yet another door. And then you notice here this goes out a bit more. That's because it will have a wall that goes up, and it'll provide like a private balcony that I probably won't get to show you right now. Let's see, but so yeah, I've listed 2 topics. There are going to be more. just don't know what they are at the moment because I have terrible memory. As soon as they occur to me, like there'll be a stimuli, some important topic will come up. Okay, and I'm going to start planting these after all. Serves me right for using so much oak. I'm just not sure how to do a variety of wood in these circumstances. Because the rooms don't always, they're not very consistent, so they don't lend themselves to a common pattern. I mean, some of them are, you know, odds, like 5 by 5, and some of them are evens. Though patterned floors would make this place more presentable. So that will be a future project, to reconsider the floors and introduce variation in wood tone. Sounds like a future episode, doesn't it? Boink. There. I like that island. I like that there's still some of my island left. This does mean, though, like, you know, if there's a rock outcrop and it, like, you know, I'm outlining it here, some sort of support structure, and I don't build any further floors down below, and it sort of curves inward so that one couldn't easily scale the walls, you know, kind of I think I said in a previous episode, sort of like an aircraft carrier, the way it curves down to catch and displace water. You know, then this stuff here would survive, and that would be attractive. And then I could use all this dirt and rock I've mined to fill out the island in other ways. This over here could be a security risk, you know, if one were concerned. But here, check it out. This has gone far enough now that you can see the jungle I planted on top of the ridge in the distance. Did I show you guys that before? Technically, right... Oh, you can't see it, but right in here is the beginnings of a village. And I'll work on that more and show you guys in future episodes. But I do want to lay these floors out. Ooh, oh, I hate that. And you know what? I didn't get any stupid stone. Did I even make it all the way there? I did. I just forgot the stone. That reminds me. Science has basically proven at this point that the brain suffers from what you could call like a contextuality resets. And there's computers have to do the same thing, where when you move from program to program or from process to process or loop to loop inside of your program, there's a lot of memory management and garbage collection, you know, things that aren't needed anymore are destroyed. And a good program works pretty religiously at getting rid of anything it doesn't need. Oh, here we go. And I believe that's correct. No, because those are doors. Jeez. And apparently the brain does the exact same thing, that when you're in a context, say the living room, your brain is dealing with that context at the time. And this goes out. And all is well. But then you decide, oh, I want some chips and soda. And by the way, these are both terrible for you, so don't do it. And so you head out of the living room and you pass into the kitchen and promptly wonder why the heck you're standing up in the middle of the kitchen. Why am I here? What is this all about? And that's because your brain detected a context change. You moved to a new locality where conditions may require your brain to be up to the challenge. And you know what? Since this leads outdoors, I might not use wood here. Who cares? So yeah. You've moved into a new context. Your brain discards things that it thinks it doesn't need anymore. So very often you pass through a doorway and you've forgotten the purpose behind which you're passing through it in the first place. And that does happen to me in game a lot too, because the same logic. Holy crap, they're already growing. The same thing applies. If I do any kind of sudden shift, something gets lost, and unfortunately, I don't know what it is. Sorry, this is just science, and I really enjoy science in general, but I mean also being able to realistically talk about biology in terms of software, because it really is. There's so many, and it's particularly why people say, "Oh, there'll never be intelligent robots," or how could anything man-made ever be compared to, a human being? And I'm like, well, our electronics just aren't as sophisticated as we are yet. It's only a matter of time. In fact, I'm largely now a self-convinced believer in this thing called Singularity. And if you're at all curious about that, you should look up this guy named Ray Kurzweil, who speaks at length. He's a bit self-absorbed in my experience, but the thing is, he's been right about a lot of things. He's an inventor. He's been doing this for a very long time, and he's guessed at future. Here, let me do this. He's guessed at future innovations, not by detail, but by what is probably going to happen. And he's done it with significant accuracy, because, he's a logical thinker about this sort of stuff. And I lost my page. Anyways, he speaks at length about the singularity, and the more I think about it, the more I'm forced to agree that the premise behind it is that every stage of development takes only I can't go that way because there's no floor. I'm stupid. Okay. Takes only a fraction as long as the one before. And this is not just a technological thing. This is observable from pretty much the beginning of life on Earth, where the first few billion years, couple billion, life it exists, but it has not progressed beyond single cells. It's very, very basic. But then it does. It makes this innovation, and it's more than single cells now. And then, after that, it only takes a few 100 million years to progress beyond multicellularism to complex life, like, I don't know, planktons, krills, the equivalent of these microorganisms, so things that are multicellular and complicated and have organs and stuff like that. It only took a few 100 million years. And then from there, it was really just a matter of tens of millions of years before you have dinosaurs, or not dinosaurs, but the predecessors to dinosaurs, which technically, the ancestors of dinosaurs are also the ancestors of mammals. We have a common ancestor, and our cousins, if anything, birds, the offspring of dinosaurs, are our nieces and nephews on the grand scheme of things. In a special kind of way. Anyways, it just it's just a matter of tens of millions of years. So you've gone down by an order of 10. So you see, this is what happened last time I did this. They were growing faster than I could cut them down, and I had to stop planting. But anyways, once you reach humanity, after tens of millions of years, then it was just in the matter of ones of millions of years between the first great apes and the sapiens, or the Homo erectus and Homo sapiens, stuff like that. At which point, it's only a few hundreds of thousands of years between our appearance and the appearance of things like agriculture, which is technically a technology. From there, it's only a matter of 10,000 years. So again, I'm an order of 10 between that and things like metallurgy. And then it's only a matter of thousands of years between that and combustion engines. And then it's only a matter of hundreds of years, combustion machinery, let's say, not combustion engines. And then it's only a matter of hundreds of years, another order of 10, between that and information technology. And then what you're seeing here is this squared curve. If things are accelerating, the further you go, the faster they are. And the concept of the singularity is there comes a point in technological advancement where things are moving so fast that you can't even picture what the next day's innovations are going to be, much less the next years or the next decades. And the only way to keep up is to blend with your own technology, that to use computational power, the things the likes of which, your iPhone right now is more powerful than the biggest supercomputer that took entire buildings to operate was just 40 years ago or whatever like that, maybe 60. Your iPhone's more powerful than it. Your iPhone's more powerful than any satellite we've ever sent up. Well, aside from confidential ones that we'll just, I'm saying things like Pioneer Probes and Voyagers are like calculators by comparison. And every generation of iPhone is twice as powerful as the one before it, and it just keeps going and going and going. And at some point, you're going to have to become one with your iPhone if you're going to be able to keep up with it. Otherwise, it will move beyond you, and it will be the dominant form of life. Because, yes, even a mechanical thing can become as complicated and as sophisticated as our brains, so that it will have to be able to recognize itself in order to continue its own development, at which point it is life. And that's just the end of it. So we're going to have to become our iPhones to be able to continue advancing. Otherwise, we'll hit this wall where we don't understand anything we're doing anymore. And that's it. So I cannot argue against this, frankly. It makes too much sense. And why did I start talking about this in the first place? There was a reason. Speaking of contextual, I've passed through too many to remember the beginning. Let me just do this for some stupid reason. Since that's a balcony, I might leave that. Tiny little balcony that looks into dirt. So, since this is a security flaw, I might take that out anyways and, flatten it out into the ocean. Make a beach or something. Anyways, I have honestly forgotten why I started talking about it. Oh well. When I review the episode later, I will be reminded, and I'll have to take down notes so I can finish my thought in the episode to follow. Which I don't think should be on this floor. I'll definitely finish this next floor before starting another episode. It's almost done. Okay, well, I have introduced the concept of singularity to those who were not already following it. So, once I remember why I was talking about it, I can continue to talk. Oh well, you know what? I wouldn't call it an episode. Maybe it's a tiny bit shorter than usual, but I don't want to keep going for the 51-minute thing like I did last time. So, in the midst of the dark rain, I wish everyone a good night.